Good morning, everyone. Let me put you back a little ways and maybe tip you down. How is everyone? I hope you're all having a great morning. It is 6 a.m. here. So, what's today? Today is Monday. It's the day that we call Monday, still in the month that we call July, and the date is... My goodness, it is the 28th of July already in the year that we call 2025. So let me get situated here at the table. Let's see if I get you guys. That looks pretty good. I think you'll be able to see quite a bit. I think we got it. I think it looks pretty good. So I hope that you're all having a beautiful Monday morning. It is foggy here, and they're saying that it's going to be a poor air quality day. It's going to... They said that over the weekend too. The whole weekend was bad air quality warnings for people that struggle to breathe, and even those that don't, right? So, but yeah, it's foggy here this morning. Had to get a sip of my coffee, you guys. So, yeah, Monday. Happy Monday. And so we begin again, right? For some of you, it's Monday night, and you'll be going into your Tuesday here by the time we're quitting for the day in the States. All right, well, let's see. You know what's interesting? Ever since I did that reading Friday, and, you know, it was basically saying, do you want these dark energies? The dark energies want nothing more than to snuff out our light, right? And keep us low and in fear and depression and whatnot. And I was just talking about my faith. And ever since then, that song, Have a Little Faith in Me, has been just on repeat in my head. Maybe you guys, that's not the, I'm sure that is not, it might not be the name of the song, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's been on repeat in my head. I just keep singing it to myself constantly. I really truly believe if everybody could really connect to that, their lives would be much more fulfilled in so many ways. But we're all on our own path here. And so that's just how it is, you know? We're all on our own path. All right, let's see. So somebody wanted to know if President Trump, the one that we're seeing at the White House, is an actor. And I think I've said this before. I've read on Trump so many times, you guys, and I know there's a lot of crap out there. But, you know, the President of the United States has body doubles, and they all have. That's something that they all have. They all do this for obvious reasons. And when it comes to like, oh, is the president that you're seeing out of the White House, is he an actor? He is probably more than likely a body double, because the president needs that. He needs, especially this one. This president needs extra protection. There have been many more attempts on his life than what has been reported in his first term. And so, yeah, he needs that extra protection. Look at the way the world, even just ordinary people, like people, I don't think anybody's ordinary, so that's the wrong use of words, but just look at the way the population views him. So you have part of the population that really likes him and voted for him because they want the change that he has been promising to bring. And then you have this other part of the population that hate him beyond belief, like delusional and deranged. The feelings that go out towards this man it's crazy. There's a lot of hate and a lot of love, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of anything in between. Do you know what I'm saying? So just think of all the people that aren't mentally well. I look around, you see a lot of that these days. Running around with TDS. And just for that reason alone, he would have to be well protected, right? He would have to be, because the Trump derangement syndrome is very real. We see it. I have a classmate who went to school with this kid. And he trolls his friends' posts on social media. And it doesn't even matter if they've said anything political or whatever. He will get on and he'll troll about how much he hates Trump for no reason. And then you try to get out of him why, and he says stuff that doesn't make any sense. It's not factual. It's all stuff he's just regurgitating from shit that he's heard on talk shows or memes that float around the internet or MSM, and there's nothing to back it up. And then when I ask him questions or I show him things, he won't respond to the questions because he doesn't have anything to say that's valid. Because all he can do is just repeat the hatred. And so when I ask him questions, he can't answer them. He'll answer them with more hate, which isn't an answer, actually. It's just name-calling and hatred. And then, when I show him facts, he has nothing to say about that either, just more hatred. So there are people that, TDS is real. It is real. I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime. I blame the press for it's that spell casting that they've done. And some people's minds are just much more susceptible to it. But the man needs protection from the people that he's serving, from the people that he's pissing off, because he's doing things that will actually improve America's well-being. And, it's all around the board. He needs protection. So let's take a look, though. I'm not going to ask actor. I'm going to ask body double, because the body doubles clearly have to act, right? Because they have to play the part. So it is a form of acting, but it's more of a stand-in there, a body double there. They're putting their lives at risk doing it, but it's just like one extra layer of protection around the President of the United States. And I believe all leaders have these body doubles, not just one, but more than one. And it's a means of protection. So let's see. So is President Trump the person on the world stage known as President Donald John Trump is the person that people are viewing at the White House in the United States? Is that person a body double? Please and thank you. We can get that with one card, right? So is the person that people are viewing as President Donald John Trump on the world stage at our White House, is that a body double? Please and thank you. And we just want one card. So the healing intentions is set for you folks as per the usual. So if you want them, stand in your power and decree it for your highest and greatest good, only and always. And don't follow any links or emails in the comments in the channel, okay? Because that would be scammers, people that are soliciting you for anything. So let's find out, is the person that people are viewing as the President of the United States, President Donald John Trump, the person being viewed on the world stage at the White House, is that a body double? One more shuffle, we'll cut them 3 times, and we'll get an answer, hopefully with 1 card. He's got like 4, you guys. He's got like 4 body doubles. So we'll let him speak to that a little bit. Yeah, 4. And they're needed. He needs them. All right, so the president has like 40, can't talk. He's got at least 4 body doubles. So yeah, yes. Celebration is, yes, he is a body double, or what you would call an actor, because it's one and the same. They've got to act a particular way. But he's probably got like at least 4, maybe 8. He's got a lot of body doubles. He's got people always waiting to stand in, to come up and stand in. And they're needed, you guys. They're really needed. Very much so. So we come across from this, that's our 4 of swords, right? 4 of rods, 4 of swords, come across from that. We've got the 9. So the cycle of needing them so much is soon to come to pass with the 9. And he'll be able to come out. It looks as though mostly you're seeing the doubles. But there are times that you actually do see the real president. And I think we did a reading a while back that did say that you would be seeing him soon. So there are times that you're seeing the real president. So that's interesting. But there's still a lot of focus on him. A lot of focus in the prayers to keep him safe. So let's see what else they want to say around that. Still a lot of focus on people like lying about him and wanting to hurt him, hurt his heart. Still a lot of focus on people wishing him ill will. With the Queen of Wands beside the 3 lined up like this, there would still be a lot of people that their intentions would be to do this man harm. Significant harm, you guys. Significant harm with this tower lining up. So there's still people that want to kill him, basically. He's not out of the woods yet as far as danger. So there has to be a lot of body doubles around him. Let me get a drink of my coffee, you guys. There have been times you've actually seen the real president, just a few times that you do see him. But he has 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8 different people that play his part. One kind of in the background on hold that they bring out sometimes when needed. Yeah, there's just too much focus on this man and intentions to hurt him. And so many lies around him. Like this is a storm cloud, you guys. Like there's a lot of focus on the storm that he's bringing. Intentions to lie about him and hurt him with that heart. Possibly like with this queen, she can be, and this has been going on for a long time with this queen, right? But she can be really nefarious. She can be like a dark witch if she's not set up right. And she's definitely not set up to look like a good witch right here. So a lot of focus on this man over a long period of time with this queen, with really, really dark intentions to hurt him from people and totally take him out, crumble him, ruin him with this Tower card. So, yeah, we have a lot of different people that you're seeing as the President of the United States. But it does say you've seen him a few times. So, but the cycle of him being in hiding and them using so many, they're focusing on that coming to pass too. So things need to keep, the ball needs to keep rolling, and eventually you'll see more of him. But it doesn't matter if you're seeing the real one or not, as long as the real one is the one calling the shots with the operation that's going on, doing what needs to be done, and fixing things the way they need to be fixed. So anyway, I just pulled all of those up, but did I just read that? Sorry, I didn't even clarify first, but it doesn't matter if I've shuffled the cards in or not. So did I just read that correctly? So the president has quite a few body doubles. We should be celebrating that. Yes, people are seeing the president the person that they're seeing often at the White House is a body double. And he's got quite a few of them, and it's needed because there are still people that would do him harm. So he does need to be protected. We've seen him a handful of times. That cycle is coming to pass where he's going to have to be so well insulated, it says, with that 9, that cycle will pass. But there is still some really bad people out there that wish to do him some incredible harm. So the body doubles are still needed. Did I read that to all of us correctly, please, and thank you. One more shuffle and we'll cut them, and I'll just clarify to see. Did I read that correctly, please? And thank you. I did. I read that correctly with two. Trying to speak this morning. I read that correctly. I read that message correctly to you with the Emperor as my high arcana answer. So that's a big yes. And the secondary message that we want to take from this is the Emperor. He is the divine masculine for me in this deck. He is the healer by doing to create balance. So it is also my alliance card. So, yeah, he's my alliance card. But you're talking about a man who is trying to create some semblance of balance in this world, right? We're talking about Donald John Trump, who ran to be the president based on balancing things out, based on literally bringing balance and fairness to many things, cleaning up like our borders, exposing fraud, balancing all of these things. So you're talking about a man that's working to make a balanced situation in a world that has become incredibly imbalanced, so that the people at the top of the echelon continue to climb higher and higher while they were trying to wipe out that whole middle class and put everybody lower and lower. So obviously he's going to not be people are against that. They don't want that happening. So yes, you're seeing body doubles. They're needed. You've seen them a handful of times. There are still people out there that would wish him harm. And then this is my alliance card. So in the hands of the alliance, because because of the work that's being done to create a more balanced place, not just here in my country, but we've seen over and over and over again, more balance for the world, more fair, balanced way for the world. So, another sip of my coffee. Somebody said when the new systems, the new way that we do finances, when that's up and running, because what we got, it's just what I got anyway, was that it would be kind of like, it's just waiting for everything to come into place so they can just kind of flick that switch and everything kind of switches over. It's basically what I got. Somebody said, well, will we be able to trust our banks? But if you listened to that reading, the reading said everything would be safer, right? The technology is going to be very high vibrational. Everything's going to be done. It's going to be more safe. So I'm sure that things would be very secure. And there would be different layers of safety in place. And I'm sure that those banks would have to be compliant to all of these new changes, right? So in my mind, with what we got, then yeah, you would be able to trust your banks, the ones that are left and operating, because they would have been compliant with the new system that is going to be safe. So that's how I interpret that. But that's me. I trust. If the universe says we're going to have a safe new system that is good for everybody, I don't sit and pick it apart. I'm like, okay, well, the universe has just given me a blanket statement that says it's going to be a very safe system. And that's probably part of the reason why the switch hasn't been flicked yet. Because not everybody's compliant, not everybody's safe just yet, because it keeps telling us that we're in the midst of this war, right? So, yeah, I'm sure that's why one of the reasons why it's not done yet is because we haven't gotten to a place where you would be able to trust every bank or whatever. And that's one of the reasons why it's not up and running. So, with my babble, let's just see if I'm onto something. Is that one of the reasons why it's not up and running yet? Because not everything's in place, and not every bank is trustworthy, and not every bank has complied to the new way of being or switched over to that new system just yet. Is that why? Because we know that we know through past readings, this is what we do know. We know that they have created a new system. There is a new system. We know that it's going to be very, very high vibrational with all of the swords that we get around that. So it's going to be a system with integrity. It's going to be a system that, with all of those swords, that is safer, more secure, safer for us to use. You're not going to be getting hacked the way that, there's going to be a lot more safety nets. It's a much more high vibrational system, probably one that none of us can even imagine, because we don't have that contrast, right? We don't have it yet. We've never had anything that safe. So what we've gotten is that this system is going to be very, very good, very high vibrational, very safe, very fair. And we have the technology to do that, and people have set these things up, and we have all of this, but it's not we're waiting for it to be like turned on and done. And is part of the reason why we're waiting for that to happen, that technology in that money system to be turned on, is that because not all banks at this point in time are compliant or have done what they need to do to get ready for this new system. So is that one of the things that, just with one card, a yes or no, and then I'm going to ask the other question. Please and thank you. One card. So that 4, with that 4, see how there's this one sword that's under the bed and isn't finished? So this would be my yes, because I'm asking the heavens, right? But see how this one sword isn't up on the wall yet? This is the thing we're praying for, is for that to come up, okay? And then we'll be in complete balance. So when I ask the question, is everybody, is it because not everybody has got all the technology ready in their bank, so have they not complied yet? Have they not done what they needed to do? Yes, there's more that needs to come up and be done. So not all banks are completely ready yet, and I wonder if that's because of some of them being affiliated with, just the shakedown. Oh, not only that, but, you do have the little, like, credit unions and stuff that they run a little different anyway. They do things a bit differently. I need more coffee, you guys. So not every bank is even ready yet, but the system is in place and ready. Does that make sense? So off of that, when the time comes and all of this technology has been set up and put into place with every single bank, will people be able to trust their banks? Because, I mean, to me, that's an obvious yes, but that would be a yes by that point, right? But I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see. Because what we got was like, it's not going to be, it's just going to be kind of like a switch over, and you'll just be notified of a new way of doing things via your bank. And somebody wanted to know if they'll be able to trust their banks. And like I said, to me, if you've got all of this new high quality system in place that the universe is telling us is coming, then if it's in place with those banks, then to me, the universe is telling us that, yeah, the banks would be all set up to be trustworthy. But let's see if I was missing something there. But will people be able to trust their banks when that time comes? Please and thank you. One more shuffle and we'll cut them. Yeah, you'll be able to trust your bank. That's a higher arcana card, so that's a yes. And by then, you guys, the secondary message is by then, the old way will be totally crumbled. Like the foundation will have crumbled out of the banks. People will have jumped ship. and everything will be changed over and be new. So between these two cards, between some banks still needing to get all of their shit together, right? And yes, you'll be able to trust them because the old way will have totally crumbled by then. Anybody bad within the system will have jumped ship or been taken care of. Between these two cards, let's just get a little conversation off of just what do they want to say to you about this? Like just a small conversation for you folks. All right, you guys. So I can move these up just a smidgen. Right about there. And then I can move these all up just a smidgen, and that way you'll be able to see the bottom card as I talk to you folks about it. One more card. And you can kind of see that. That's my eight of rods. All right, you guys. So the little bit of a conversation that they want to have, because we're talking about the banking system. We're talking about a new system that's going to come in. That's going to be safer and more high vibrational, much safer. And the banks being trustworthy. The conversation that we're having right now, as we come off of these two cards, right? So this is our bringing in balance and abundance, the High Priestess. They start us off with that it's a higher arcana card, so it's the big picture. So you guys, the big picture, we have the dark and the light, okay? Big picture is there's tons of abundance in the world. Behind her, there's a ton of abundance. And she's just holding balance between that dark and the light. So, the light side, right, the good side, the light side, the side that isn't looking to screw you, is the side that is implementing all of these changes, higher vibrational frequencies coming in, new technology coming in, things that we've prayed for coming in, a much more balanced way of doing things. The light side is bringing that in, right, in the category of our banks and how we handle our money and move our money around, and our financial, the finances, right, the abundance. And so the dark side is what has to totally crumble. So before we get the new systems and all of that, we have to make sure that everything has been crumbled, disintegrated, the old foundation is gone, and the old people wishing to screw with these systems and manipulate them, spy on you, see where hack into you with malware, all of that stuff. That has to be crumbled, okay? And they need to make sure that that the dark has significantly crumbled. All right. So that's where we start, you guys, as far as this conversation goes. Then what we do, we come down. So this higher frequency that we're looking for in our money systems, which good people want to bring in to the communities, right? This is my Trump card. So Donald Trump would be really wanting to bring a better, safer, better way with our finances that make all of the communities happy, okay? And this is the world plane. So it's all, that's how the pentacles is always our earthly pleasures. So you can think of it as the earth, and you can think of it as all the assets within the earth, on top of the earth, all of your assets, all of us people, money, all of that, right? So, he focuses fairly wanting to move people out of this kind of bumpy, troubled water that we've been in for a long time, right? He wants to move humanity out of that into a higher vibrational system, smoother waters that feel a little better emotionally, under a higher vibration of love that will bring in some balance to the way abundance is handled, right? Crumble the dark and set up this higher frequency way of being. And he would like to do that very quickly with this Eight of Rods. So that's something that he wants to move in. He wants that moving fast. I think he really wants to be remembered for that piece of things, especially. If you think of the way he talks about Andrew Jackson, and this whole system, this money system, getting people on, what's he say? He wants it to be fair across the board, and creating abundance and whatnot. I think this is like something that's very, very, very passionate to him. We've gotten this several other readings, right? So that's how we've got to look at this side of things, the light side of things, right? Wanting to move humanity out of troubled water quickly when it comes to the way things are done within our asset systems, bring things up more high vibrational, right? Really a strong focus on that, a fairness, because the King of Rods, you guys, is always fair, okay? Always, always. So, we've got to look at this, the darker side of things. Has to be completely crumbled. That foundation has to be gone completely. People have jumped ship from that. The problem right now is that there's still a lot of and these are just ordinary people. There's still a lot of people chaotically fighting that would more than likely fight the new system, okay? And they're fighting in itself the fighting that is being implemented through this darkness as these things crumble, you guys. They feel, these people that are fighting feel like they're, how do you want to explain this? They are, that through their chaos, their fighting and their bullshit, that this is something to celebrate, like they're winning. They feel like, it's hard to even explain, almost giddy about the chaos. You know what I mean? The fighting is something to be proud of. So there's still a lot of that going on, and that's moving, that energy is also moving as fast as this energy. So we're really going through, that just reminds me of the storm, when you have two fronts coming together, you've got that cold front and that hot air coming together and creates a storm. That's basically what we've got going on here. On the dark side of things, things are crumbling, people are chaotic, fighting, because the dark is got its toll over people too, and we saw that Friday. And then on the light side of things, you have people talking, coming together, being excited. You have fair leaders that want to push humanity out of troubled waters and as quickly as possible. But on the dark side, you've got all of these people that want to keep you in troubled waters, keep you stagnant, and that's celebratory. So we've got this battle between the dark and the light. And these things can't come forward until we can clear up some of this chaos. Because this is all very high vibrational. And so this has to stop. And you know, or stop as much as possible. And these people that has to be crumbled. But there's a lot going on here, and I just want to see if I've relayed the message right. But yes, we've got leaders that want to bring this fast. They want to get humanity out of troubled water. They want better things. They want better things. And then we've got this whole dark side that wants to keep celebrating this chaos and these troubling times. And they want to keep creating this chaos. You know, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. So am I reading this correctly, please and thank you? Have I delivered this message correctly, please and thank you? I've delivered that correctly. And interesting, can you see that? Interesting that they gave me my yes with a King of Pentacles too, because that is the system that we're talking about right now. The money and the, you know, the abundance and the assets. So yeah, I delivered that correctly to you folks. So that's what's going on with the banks, and you know, by the time everything is in place everywhere, yes, you'll be able to trust your banks, because the old way, the dark way, will be out of there. Done. And everything will have been switched over to the newer high vibrational way of being. So there's that, you guys. That's just what I'm getting. As always, with both those questions and those readings, that's just what I'm getting. So, you know, take from it what resonates and toss the rest. Go with your intuition and your feelings around things. Alrighty, let's see. How long have I been on here? It looks like I've been on here about 45 minutes. So let's just go ahead and end this with a universal message, a 7-card spread, please and thank you. Universal message, please and thank you. 7-card spread. One more. No, 2 more. Feels like 2 more. All right. That's going to do it. And boom. Let's see. Let's get a pathway and a conversation about whatever it is that they want to talk to us about. Make sure that I'm kind of putting them where you folks are going to be able to see it. And where I can reach it, right? Wow. Let's see. You can see it. All right, you guys, so let's start with our pathway. We're ending this cycle of being beaten up. The physical day-to-day stuff is coming to an end. We're at a 9. So we're ending that part of our physical journey where everything feels difficult. That is coming to pass, because 9s always bring that to pass, okay? And so that would be how we've lived here forever, where everything feels difficult. Like, you know, my mother was born in the 30s. My mom and dad were born mid-30s. So they would have been what we would call kindergarten age come 1940, right? And they they grew up through the 40s and whatnot. So, you know, my Grammy, my mom and dad's parents, their mothers and their fathers, they grew up through some really difficult times, and then they raised kids through really difficult times, okay? So, my great-grandmother, my Grammy Clark, my mom's, my mother's mother's, it gets confusing, right? So my great-grandmother on my mother's side, so my mom's mom. You know, I mean, she was born in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. Think about how hard they had to work. Every day was a chore. So you didn't get to turn on your thermostat. And listen, I've chosen a way of life that I have to do a little more than some people, but it's a choice. It's what I've chosen, right? Like, I have to have wood. We have to split wood. We have to have kindling. We have to do these things to heat my house. Some people have oil and they just mess with their thermostat and have the oil filled. Back in those days, there wasn't that luxury. You had to have your wood put up. You had to have your wood in. You had to have your kindling, your wood. You had to cook on a wood stove. You had to go out and you had to chop the ice off the water and lug the water for cleaning the clothes, cleaning the house, doing the cooking, bathing the kids, bathing yourselves, you know, watering your animals. You know, you weren't plowing your fields with tractors. Seriously, physically difficult times, right? People didn't have a lot of money. There was a lot of trading that went on. If you had a bad year in your garden, if you had a difficult year with what you were getting for vegetables, you couldn't just run to the store and get your needs met. For one thing, you didn't have enough cash. You know what I'm saying? It's been difficult for everybody throughout the generations. It's just been hard. Life has been a struggle because ever since they stole the technology, did the reset, and threw everybody that would remember in insane asylums, stole their children and threw them in orphanages, ever since the reset, they've made it hard. So, and then we get this little bit of technology that everybody feels oh so thankful for. So now instead of always having to use a hammer, you've got a drill, you know? When in fact there's technology that's been hidden from us that can do... You guys know what I'm saying. So the way we've lived here has been physically difficult. And even though they've given us advancements, so today it's a little easier than what my grandparents and my parents lived through. You know, my mom had to do all of that stuff. My mother, her father left, and my mother had to get up every morning, and she had to go and she had to lug the water to the house so that my grandmother had all of the water that they needed for the day. And then she'd get herself ready for school, and she had all of these chores that she had to do. She was in charge of all the wood chopping. My mom was 9 when her father left. He was an asshole. So she had a little sister and a little brother. Her brother was 5 years younger than her, and her sister was 7 years younger than her, and there wasn't welfare back then. So my mother literally became the woman and the man of the house, and my grandmother would have to go off. She would go far up north and pick potatoes. That meant my mom was staying home alone, doing the cooking and the cleaning, and lugging the water and the wood, and keeping the home fires burning, and taking care of her little brother and her little sister. Scared shitless come dark. Scared shitless. And she used to lug water to people in the neighborhood. That was her job. And, you know, she said, gosh, there were places where her grandmother would always say to her, just leave the water at the foot of the steps. Don't go up the steps. Don't go into the house. You'll come out with bed bugs. Or you'll come out with lice or whatever. So she would have to just deliver the water to the steps and you know, she wasn't to go up the steps onto the porch or into the houses. But, you know, I mean, my mom had a hard life, and she worked physically hard. the generations before me worked very, very, very hard. Their lives were not easy. And so then, you know, things got a little easier. Technology came in and people started getting electricity and an easier way of being. But like my mom grew up country bumpkin, so they didn't have electricity. My grandmother didn't get electricity for it was years before it was available, before she actually got it. So, you know, doing their homework by lantern light, literally walking to school. You know, those stories everybody makes fun of, those are real. Those are true stories. So, physically difficult journey here. And even though we've been given this technology, with that technology, we've been given this level of stress, right? And they've talked people into this whole keep up with the Joneses in order to look a particular way or be thought of as a decent person. You have to have all of these things, which is such bullshit, which has caused a whole other layer of stress. So physically here for me, I still have to chop wood. We still have to stack wood. We have to get our wood in. We have to get our kindling done. And then, you know, the two other sources, the other source of heat that I have is pellets. So we have to buy our pellets and we have to get those stacked and put up. So it's an amount of work, but it keeps me warmer and it's economically more sound. And it's just the way I've chosen to live. But I have some physical things also that have to be done, right? And then if you don't have the heat, then you're stressed. If you don't have money, you can't pay the light bill, you're stressed. If you don't have money, you don't have a vehicle, you're stressed because then you're hitchhiking to work and that's dangerous. Or, you know what I'm saying? They've kept us in this state of just being beat to shit and stressed out and in our daily physical life. And with that 9, that's ending. So do a victory lap, do a happy dance, get in this love vibration and understand that this is ending. So, you know, get seriously happy and stay in that love vibration. Do that victory lap because it's ending. We're winning with this. We've been battling. We've battled. We've come home. We're celebrating because we've had that victory. And then above that, we have that 7 of rods. This is all about our physical life, you guys. How we live each day. Then above that, we have that 7 of rods. Man, we have won many battles, right? That victory lap, we have gone out, we've fought many battles, and we've won. We've claimed our territory. We've set our stakes. Do you know what I'm trying to say here with that 7? So, won. We've won again. And we're still fighting and grounding in more wins, you guys. So, this is a beautiful pathway, right? So the difficulty that the hardship that we've all felt one way or another, even though as the generations have moved forward, maybe not as hard as it was back in the 1800s, but there's still that level of beat up, right? Because with the shifting and the times changing, you may not be out every day hunting for your meal and hoeing your fields because you can get that at the grocery store. And you're not doing it that way because you have to work two people have to work in the family. There has to be 2 people working, 2 people earning money in order to, do you see? So it's still a difficult journey. And that's ending. So we're winning. Victory lap after victory lap, and grounding in this new way of being so we can end this cycle. We're walking away from a way that things were that may have looked to a lot of people like they were fine, right? So with this 8, it's like everything's kind of set up and it looks fine. Like, oh, it looks fine. We're born. We then spend the next 13 years in a friggin' indoctrination camp that they like to call school, unless you're like me and you just don't show up and then you finally just drop out. But, you know, then you go off to more indoctrination if you go to college, and then you have all that debt that you have to pay, and then you're working your ass off to obtain what society deems you as being like a person of stature or importance or a decent person, which is so ridiculous. But I know so many people that gauge a man by his wallet still today. It's just the most ignorant thing. If your house isn't as pretty as mine, or if your house isn't as big as mine, or if you don't have a condo in Florida and a camp up north and a house and, property and like all of this shit. Oh, if you don't have a camper, if you don't have a wheeler, if you don't have a snowmobile, if you don't have a motorcycle, if you don't have 2 cars and a 3-car garage, if you're not going on vacations, and it's just so stupid. It's the most ignorant way that anybody could possibly think. But it's what they've tricked people into thinking and being and doing, right? I don't give a shit what somebody thinks about me. I live very simplistically, but I've always just been a simple girl, so that's just kind of how I am. Yeah, I don't go into debt over things. I live very simplistically, and I'm very happy with my life. I'm not always seeking the next thing that will give me some damn rush and then be dissatisfied. But that goes back to Friday, like what we were talking about. I'm filled up with other things. I'm filled up inside. And I'm just filled up inside. And so I'm not always seeking that next thing to make me feel something or send off those endorphins in my brain. So anyways, yeah, that way, everything was set up and it might have looked fine. It might have looked like, well, yeah, if you educate yourself and you work hard, then you can obtain these things. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with self-educating. There's nothing wrong with working hard and having a good work ethic. And there's nothing wrong with obtaining, things. It's the way it's done that makes me crazy, There's nothing wrong with that, but they've created it to be a way that's incredibly difficult. It's very hard. Like, it's stressful because everything keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And like, people are working longer days and more jobs. And in order to have those things. And most people, I think if people could get rid of the keeping up with the Joneses attitude, I think at the heart of the matter, people are looking to be filled with that, which we were talking about on Friday, what God can give you, what having faith can give you, how that shifts everything from the inside out. That's what people are really looking for. And if everybody could just fill their cup from the inside, they would find that they don't need 1 million toys, that they're pretty satisfied with just having some food and their bills paid and some health and a roof over their head that feels very homey and satisfying to them. And you know what I mean? Like, if people could fill their cup from the inside, they would feel definitely more full and be just in that constant state of the attitude of gratitude for all the things that they do have. But anyway, we're walking away from that, you guys. It might have looked okay and it looked fine, but the way it was done was it beats us up. And you just think about that. It's true. Look at people that are retiring. They work all these years till they can finally afford to retire, and then they can't. They have to take a job at Walmart or Shop and Save or somewhere to supplement that income to still barely get by. Meanwhile, they've worked so hard their whole life. Their hands are crippled. They're hobbling. You know what I mean? Because they've worked so hard, but they have to keep working because their Social Security and their retirement isn't enough. So we're walking away from that way of being, you guys. And above that, we've got that sun. So we're walking courageously away from this shit. And we're walking into a new era with that Higher Arcana card. That's big picture. That's a more abundant time. That's happy. That's like fantasy land, right? It's like things that you couldn't imagine. You got your unicorn, the sun, the sunflowers, the happy little baby. There's happiness and joy and warmth there. So we're walking away from the way we've done things on the physical playing field that have created such hardship and beaten the hell out of people. And we're going to be going into a warmer time, an easier time, a more abundant time, a more joyful time. That's what we're walking towards. And believe it or not, we're walking to that fairly fast. So we've walked away from that which doesn't serve us. And with this 8, we're moving quickly towards healing here on the earth plane. We're moving very quickly towards birthing new things, to grounding this next new thing in. That's going to be very healing. These are both abundant cards, right? So, and I'm not just talking, I know everybody thinks they're going to be rich, but what did I just say? Like, if you're not getting so beat up in your daily life and our cup is filled from the inside, it's not going to take much to make people happy. I think we're going to go back. This is a much more simplistic way of being, and this is a much more abundant and happy way of being. She's very abundant too. But she's so connected to the earth and the stars that she realizes she doesn't have to have all of this stuff that people have been busting their ass to have to keep up with the Joneses, that's actually been making them beat up because of the stress of all the payments and all the crap to obtain all of that, right? So she finds a lot of happiness in the simplicity of things. She's super connected with those stars on her head to the heavens. She is in alignment with joy. She is in abundance with the wheat, the earth, the things that the earth can birth and give her. So yeah, she's simplistic and healing and very abundant, very connected to both earth and stars. And then over here, you know, again, this is like joy vibration. It is warmth. It is abundance. It is magical. You get your unicorn, right? And then of course it's that 11 when you do the numerology with it, and that's awakening, brand new starts. That's really that crown chakra awakening, fresh starts, being in alignment universally. So good stuff to come, you know, good stuff. And that's what they want to tell us. It's a whole, like, celebrate. It's actually moving. We've walked away. We're walking towards this actually faster than you might think. We're coming up on a period of great healing. We're ending an old way of the way bullshit used to be done that beat the shit out of us. We've fought many rounds and been victorious. Lots of groundwork done, many battles won, more grounding in, and grounding in quickly. So celebrate with doing this victory lap, because we walked away from all this crap and we've already been grounding in the new and still have more coming. So did I read this correctly, please and thank you? I read that to you correctly with the Emperor. So I also want to say with the Emperor, you know, there's that secondary message always. This is my alliance card. It's hierarchy big picture. So you guys, the secondary message would always be for us to be doing the work to balance our own lives and bring in that healing, and be the doer of creating the balance in our own lives, right? And I just want to say also, before I get off here, you know, think about this. Just think about it in this term. Think about this as a personal reading for us. Walk away from the things that don't serve you, right? Stay in the joy vibration, right? Walk away from those things that don't serve you. Run, if it's not serving you, run. Get in touch with the earth, pull in the vibrations of joy, start connecting to the heavens. This way of life isn't working. Pull in that love vibration. Take a look at everything that you've accomplished in life. Consider it a battle that you have won, and pat yourself on the back. Reflect on all of the things that you've done in your life, and then really think about what it is that you want to ground in now. So that's just a way to look at it, as if I was reading you a personal reading. But I gave a universal message first. But this would be how we would look at it if that was on a personal level. And this is something that we can implement in our lives every single day to create change in our own lives. Walk away from the shit that doesn't serve you. If we're sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves or complaining, because this is an emotional card, let's pull up a big girl panties and big boy panties and courageously move forward in life, seeking those higher frequencies, to open our crown with that 11, to pull in the joy from the sunflowers, to feel the warmth and the love of our Creator, and to touch our own magic with that unicorn. Just keep opening ourselves so that we become more and more magical and heal that inner child, you guys. And there's no time like the present to do it. Like, we can move this energy quick if we're connected to the heavens. We absolutely can. Spiritual work can elevate us in a way that Western medicine and counseling never will. It goes so quick. It's so easy to do, and it's so fulfilling. It's so healing. Stay in that joy vibration. Connect to the earth. Connect to the heavens. It's so healing. Yes, it's okay to admit that we have had a rough time here on this earth plane, and the battle has not been easy, but let's just remind ourselves of everything that we've accomplished. Learn to love ourselves. Keep seeking truth and knowledge. Give ourselves credit for all that we have grounded in, and think about what it is that we want to ground in every single day and make those higher vibrations. So that's that secondary personal piece of things. All right, you guys, I love you all very much. So you all have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful week, and I will see you very soonish. So yeah, stay high vibing, heal those things that hurt, work on that inner child, open the crown, connect to the heavens, ground into the earth, pull in the love and the joy vibration. Think about what it is that you want to ground in every single day. And together we can really create massive shifts, vibrational shifts on the earth, just by being intentional and not falling for those lower vibrational things. Like the fear porn, like always doubting, like thinking that we can't be happy if the outside world looks a particular way. Because it's all just an illusion anyway, you guys. So if it's all just an illusion, and then we focus on our actual day-to-day lives, like we focus on whatever it takes to keep our property, our families, ourselves safe, and we focus on who it is that we love, and we focus on our Creator, and we focus on our own healing, and we focus on all of these things that can fill us up, then everything out there in that illusional 3D world can't really touch you the way it can when we choose to focus on all of that bullshit. That's the shit that will stop us from living our best lives, our happiest lives, our most creative, emotionally fulfilling lives. Anyways, I've gone on long enough. I love you all. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I will see you soonish. All right, bye-bye.